Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, or welcome all together if you're just tuning in. I'm sure you've read the title, so you already know what this is about if you know how to read. There's no need for a long introduction. Let's just dive right in. So this story is about this magical fairy tale, very real dating experience that I had that really turned into this nightmare for me. I met this guy on OkCupid. It happened very organically. You know how it is when you meet people online. You meet, you introduce yourselves, you tell them what you're looking for. He just got out of a bad relationship. He was looking to dive into something that was long term. I had just turned 23. I was looking for a dating relationship that could turn into something forever. And it seemed like we were both looking for the same thing, so we both, okay, let's get to know each other. He was in his 40s, because I do prefer to date older sometimes. He was very, very attractive. He was 6'5". He went to Harvard. He was very educated, very successful in his career field, so he said. And then I was telling him about me, and we both just seemed very interested in each other, so we started exchanging numbers, and we went from there. The more he's telling me, the more I'm vibing with him, and vice versa. I'm very, when you first meet somebody online, and you're very infatuated with the information that they're telling you. It was just so easy to get caught up in that new feeling. So when I'm dating somebody that I just meet online, even before we meet, I kind of want to look online, at least see their Facebook page to see what they're telling me is true. I didn't used to do that in the past, and that was kind of unsafe. I feel like when I go meet somebody, I want to know who they are and if they're telling me, if they're who they're telling me. So when I Googled his name, he was one of the top real estate developers in his region of where he lived. Everything he told me was true. He had all his accolades. He had stuff to lose, so everything he's telling me is true. While we're texting, he's just painting this very beautiful picture on what we could be, and I'm just so intrigued. And he was very smart, very educated, and that's a huge turn on to me for a guy he's just very eloquent and very well spoken. He wasn't the first. He was the second guy who ever sent me flowers. He used to send me flowers all the time. They were just beautiful, like $200 arrangements. I'll probably insert a picture if I'm not advanced. Text, phone calls, everything, and eventually it reached this point where let's meet. Like, everything on paper seems like it's really good, so let's meet. And I asked him, like, so am I coming to you? Are you coming to me? Because he did live about 1,000 miles away from me. I live in a small town in the Midwest. He lived on the East Coast. So he's like, I'm up for whatever. You can come to me. I can come to you. We can go to Detroit, which is a major city near me. We can go to Chicago, which is a major city near me. He was like, I had mentioned to him in passing that I really wanted to go to a strip club, like a really well-known, like Ace of Diamonds, if that is the name of a strip club, like something like that. He was like, we can go to Atlanta. He's like, I know a couple club owners in Houston. We can go there. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he just remembered everything I was telling him. He's like, we can do whatever you want to do. Wherever you want to go, I'm fine. You want to meet in Detroit, you want to meet here, you want to meet there. And I decided, let's just go to Chicago. Because Chicago isn't that far from me. If this goes shady, if this goes haywire, I'm jetting back home. Like, period. I had enough money to go home. I didn't want to fly to him, because I've never flown before at that time. So I'm not flying to him, don't know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. That just seemed like the safest thing for me to do. So he's like, okay, we'll just plan the whole trip. And at first that threw me for a loop, because I'm used to guys planning out the dates or whatever. He's like, no, whatever it is you want to do in town that weekend. He called me like 15 minutes later, and he's like, hey, I'm looking at Ticketmaster right now. We can do like third or fourth row. I don't think we should do first row, because he is a comedian. He'll heckle us. I'm like, I just mentioned that in passing. I didn't really know who Trevor Noah was. I just knew he was like a well-known name. So, and then for him to be willing to spend $300 for He says, Court, I honestly don't care what we do as long as we spend time together and as long as you plan out some time for us to do a spa day. And a spa little, like some time out to do a spa, event. And at this point, I'm melting in my seat, y'all. I'm like, is this guy the real deal? He fine. He got money. He fine. He educated. He fine. And he wants to do a spa day. He want to do whatever I want. He sent me flowers. He looking for a relationship. He just don't want no booty. Girl, beat it. I'm all over this dude like white on rice. So I end up planning everything. He gets my train ticket, because I took the train in. So he gets my train ticket. I got a hotel suite just for me because I wasn't comfortable sharing a room with him. It was technically a first date, even though he had been talking about 2-3 months before we actually met. Safety first, ladies and gents. So all of that's planned. We end up meeting each other. I get to Chicago before him. I'm extremely nervous. I've packed my bougiest, frou-frouest outfits because I already know this dude has money and I don't know what to expect. I don't know how this is going to play out, but it's an experience. So I get there, I get to the hotel, which we're right in the premier spot of downtown. We're at a 5-star hotel. Right when I get there, I feel like I'm stepping out of a movie. There's literally an Indian wedding going on at the hotel across the street. And I mean, they're walking down Michigan Ave on elephants. There's people dancing in the streets, confetti flying, it's beautiful, gorgeous, bright. Like, I cannot make this up. I felt like I was an extra on a Disney movie. So I get there and say, we have a reservation for so-and-so. I'm a guest. I should be listed as having my own room and so forth. They're like, as soon as I say that, it's like I said the magic word. As soon as I said his last name, they're all over me, offering me snacks and cookies and the whole shebang. He gets there. As soon as we get there, he grabs me, hugs me, kisses me, and he's like, so good to see you. You're even more beautiful in person. Bob, thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm late. Let's just check in and get it started. And I'm literally melting on the spot. So we check in and he's like, well, what do you want to do? And then I tell him everything that I'm interested in, everything we wanted. So he's a real estate developer, but he also is an angel investor. He's also an angel investor in several companies, several startup companies. He had a company that he was investing in at the time that was about to launch in Chicago, and he was looking for an apartment there. On the first day, his real estate, what do you call it? I don't know what it is when you have your own real estate guy, real estate broker, real estate friend, real estate agent. His real estate agent messaged him and said, hey, I just found out about this new viewing. Let's go. If you have time, I know you're in town. Let's go look. So we go look at this multi-million-dollar condo, and I'm falling all over. He's like, yeah, so now we'll have a spot next time we come to Chicago. We don't just have to stay in hotel rooms. And I'm like, next time? I'm like, oh, he digging the kid, y'all. He falling all over me. So the whole time we're together, he's just being so assertive and so into me, like, no, don't walk on the side of the street, walk closer. And we're holding hands. He's opening the door for me. He's just making direct eye contact while we're talking. And he's just all super sexy, super like, okay, I done met my man. I'm married. Delete all 50 of my online dating accounts. Me and this dude getting married, like point blank in the period. So we went to this museum. We went to the National Film Museum in Chicago, and it was super cold when we went. Like, it may have been snowing. It was super cold. And when we were going there, because there's several ferries from the National Film Museum to Chicago. At the time, they were telling us, me and him went there. They're like, oh, we only run it if we have 50 tickets. And it was just me and him, because nobody, who wants to go on a ferry boat in the winter besides me? he's like, okay, then charge off 50 tickets to me. We're going. She wants to go. Guys, I'm melting in my seat. So we take the ferry boat ride, just me and him. We go to Navy Pier, we grab dinner, and that was the first night. The second day we did breakfast, brunch at the Four Seasons. Then I didn't pack anything that was comfortable. I packed like a bunch of dresses, a bunch of heels, a bunch of stuff from my sister's closet, like a bunch of bougie frou-frou, because I knew he had money. I just wanted to make sure it's better to be overdressed than underdressed. But he was super chill, super relaxed, and that wasn't the vibe at all. I just wanted to make sure I was prepared. So I'm like, I didn't even pack any jeans. So we went shopping, and I was totally going under the expectation that I was paying for everything. I never expected him to pay for me. But when we went there, he was like, no, you need this. You need your hat and gloves. Get some shoes, get some shirts, get some shoes. Get everything you think you might need for this trip. Let's just get it out of the way. So we went to H&M and Forever 21, and he spent like $200-300 on a brand new winter wardrobe, guys. So, and then he got a hat and gloves and like so forth, whatever, for himself. So while we were walking down Michigan Ave, we stopped into the Cartier store. And we go in, and he automatically knows what he's looking for. He automatically knows what it is he wants to get from me. And I'm like, dude, you just met me. You looking for what? You looking for who? I'm screaming on the inside like, bitch, I'm about to get a $40,000 jewelry set. He cashing out on the kid. He go there and say, let me see the love set, which, if you aren't familiar, it's that necklace with the lock and key, and it's that bracelet with the lock and key. And he has me try it on. Guys, I'm literally shitting on myself in this store. I've never had that much money on me. Never nothing. Just a poor kid from the Midwest. So I'm trying this on, and I'm like, God, what the fuck? Why is he doing all this for me? What's going on? And he tells the lady to put it on hold and that we will be coming back for it. I am dead. I couldn't wait to get to the bathroom, y'all, and text my sister and told her we made it. This is it. This is it. So, like, I'm in love. Start planning a wedding. So then he's like, he had been dropping hints this whole time we together. There's something I want to talk to you about. There's something that we can talk about before we can become official and so forth. After we leave the shop, I'm like, why he put on hold? Why he just didn't buy it and cash me out? So he's like, we'll talk about it at dinner. There's something I've been really meaning to talk to you about. And if we move forward, we go back to the Cartier shop and get everything. And by the time we made it to dinner, I'm all built up wondering what it is he has to tell me, because I'm like, oh, he must have a big secret. He must be married with kids or something. And if you really like this video, you will tune in for part 2. Let's get to 25 likes, and I will tell you what happened at the rest of the story when we got to the restaurant and he dropped this massive explosive bomb on me, guys. So comment below in the section what you think the secret is, and let's get this video to 25 likes so you can find out exactly what happened.